I keep leaning back on this bookcase and it keeps moving. There it goes again. Oh, it's going to shock me every time. I'm going to try to stick into one place. Hey, BookTube, it's Kim at Middle of the Book March. This is a tag today, and I like this one because it's very chatty. I don't have to hold up any books. I don't need to put any clips in here. I'm a lazy booktuber. I've admitted that a few times. It's so stupid. I try to do the bare minimum to get a video up here. No, seriously, I don't do that. I really do care about the content and the quality of my video, but hey, I'm also very transparent, okay? So, this is the Booktubian Tag, and it's a little bit of an older one. The original was created by The Life of Miranda, and I think it was like 5 or so years ago. I was tagged by the wonderful Kazan from Always Doing, and her channel is linked below, and I love her perspective because Kazan is in the medical profession. She's I believe a medical translator, and she's lived in Japan for over a decade, and I love her perspective on things, and I love the types of books that she reads, and I've gotten some really good ideas from her channel. So check her out. And I'm going to be looking over here at my laptop for the list of questions. So the first one is, what got you into BookTube? My daughter, my middle schooler, she was watching YouTube, as most middle schoolers do. I'm going to push my tripod away a little bit. There we go. She was watching YouTube and was watching channels with books, and I had literally... Never mind, I didn't say that. I hate it when people use that word all the time. I had never heard of book channels on YouTube, and she called me into the room, and she's like, "Hey, Mom, did you know that there are channels on YouTube just for books?" And I'm like, I was in shock. I had no idea, and I'm of a generation where I don't typically go straight to YouTube like the kids do. And I started watching booktubers channels. She was watching a lot of YA booktubers, so that's what I started watching. And I loved the visual aspects of their videos, but their books were not the same types of books I was reading. So I started to go online and basically type in adult booktubers into YouTube. Be careful what word you put after adult because you'll get some pretty shady stuff. But I did discover some more grown-up booktubers. I can't even tell you which ones I found first simply by accidental discovery, but eventually the adult booktubers just kind of poured out and I found so many. So that was how I got into watching BookTube. I've been watching for about 3 years now. Second question, how did you choose your channel name? I initially wanted to call my channel Becker's Books, but there's a bookstore in Texas, I think, that's called Becker's Books. And I don't think they have a channel, but I didn't want it to be confusing. So then I first named it K. Becker's Books. And that was a little like, it's all right, it's okay for now. And I had that channel name for a while until a few months ago. After I started reading George Eliot much more earnestly and fell in love with Middlemarch, I started to want to change my channel name to be a little more creative and a little more me. And I started brainstorming in my head and I started putting phrases together and thinking about the books that I loved. And I love Middlemarch so much that I just stumbled upon Middle of the Book and Middlemarch, and now I'm Middle of the Book March. Number 3, who are the first friends you made on BookTube? Oh my, I can't possibly give you names for this question, but the first person that I talked to because of BookTube was Robert from Barter Hordes. And now I had been a watcher for about a year, and that the next year was the first year of the BookTube prize. And I wanted to take part as a judge, and I did. I took part in the initial BookTube prize year, and I had commented on videos previous to this, and I messaged Robert and I said, I would love to be a judge. Is it okay if I don't have my own channel yet? I'm starting to gear up. And he said, absolutely. He was incredibly encouraging. And so I took part in the BookTube judging and corresponded via email a few times. When I finally got up the guts to create my own channel, I emailed Robert, and he was so nice and so encouraging. He gave me the best advice yet. He said, be yourself, do whatever you want, do what feels right for you. Don't copy anybody, do your thing. And people who have that in common will come and watch. And it was the best advice. So Robert, thank you. Who were my first friends that I made? My first buddy read was Alba, and we read Middlemarch together. And we've since read Daniel Deronda last year. We are currently in a reading group for These Truths. We've agreed to read the rest of George Eliot's novels this year. I love Alba. I love her. I love talking to her. My next buddy read, I think, was Gemma from Read a Book Gem. We read Hamnet together, which was glorious. And, there's so many. I mean, I've done buddy reads with Ange with an E and Britta Bowler and, Heidi I'm doing a buddy read with now, Heidi from My Reading Life. There are so many other commenters and Instagrammers, Freddie from Sluggish Reader. And I'm going to have there's another booktuber that I'm going to mention further down. Let's see, the next one. Why do you love reading books? It's like asking me, why do you love oxygen? I have no idea how to answer that question. I've always been a reader. It's a passion. I don't feel good if I don't read every day, even if it's a chapter or a few pages. I've just always loved it. A book contains an entire world. And I learn, I feel things, I feel like I'm feeding my soul. I don't even know how else to answer that. Why do you love chocolate? Why do you love shelter? Why do I love margaritas? Why do I love pizza? I don't know. Same answer. Let's see. Next one. What is your favorite way to film a video? Camera, lighting, makeup, etc. My favorite way is right here. I'm actually sitting on the floor and I'm in my bedroom. It's our third bedroom, but this is my she room. So I've got books on this wall. There's a TV right up here. There's a window to my right, and that's the best light that comes in. But right now it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I have my overhead light on. That's why the lighting is probably a little wonky. I haven't shelled out the $40 or so for a ring light yet. I will. But my camera, I use my phone. I have an iPhone 11 and I use that. And I use natural and overhead lighting when I need to. Makeup, the only makeup I wear is a little bit of eyeliner and or mascara. And maybe a little bit of eyebrow stuff, but I don't have any on right now. Only because it makes me look a little more awake. I have very sleepy looking eyes and I'm always tired looking. And I know that. I'm just being transparent with you guys. I don't wear a lot of makeup. And one of the things I absolutely hate, and I want other booktubers to stop doing this, don't ever apologize for appearing on camera without makeup on. There is no rule that says anybody has to wear makeup ever. If you enjoy wearing makeup, that's excellent. It's artistic, it's creative, it's fun. Don't ever apologize for not having it on. Next question, what was your first collaboration and who was it with? Aside from buddy reads, Sean the Book Maniac. He messaged me and he asked me if I'd like to do a short story project with him and do a video, an online discussion on BookTube, and I, of course, jumped at the chance. And then he offered to have an interview with me on his channel. This was a while ago, and I was still, very, very much smaller than I still am right now. But Sean is one of my good BookTube friends, and he was so gracious and so lovely. He's hilarious and smart and funny. Funny and hilarious is the same thing. The man is awesome. And so he was my collaborator. We've since done another collaboration video with a book game that we played. And we message back and forth, so I absolutely love Sean. Hi, I hope you're watching. Next one, what keeps you going with BookTube? I have fun. This is fun. I love talking about books. I love acquiring books that I know I'm going to have a project for and that I know I'm going to want to talk about and I know I'm going to wrap them up. I love other booktubers and buddy reads, and I love having conversations with subscribers and viewers. It's just all fun. What would get me to leave BookTube? If it stopped being fun and if I was so frustrated with whatever, negativity or feedback, or when it became more like a chore that I would have to determine what is going to be my future on BookTube. But for now, I just love books and I love talking about books and I love being surrounded by other people who love books as much as me. So that's it. Next one, how do you respond to hate messages or comments? I really haven't gotten any hate comments. I have never received a negative message. Let's see. I've gotten a couple of comments that were not great. And typically it's like I'm full on confrontational. I confront in order to let things go. I hate holding on to things. I'm not a grudge holder. I'm too tired and I don't like drama. I don't want the drama. So if I get something negative, I'm going to address it. If it's hateful, I would most likely ignore it and block it. I get more angry when I see hate comments on other booktuber friends' channels. And I have engaged in that before because I get pissed and I'm like, oh no, you didn't just write that. I'm coming after you. And it's just like, I'm going to defend my booktuber friend. And I've done that a couple of times. There was one very long negative comment on somebody else's channel. And I started to type and then I realized I'm not going to make any bit of damn positive difference. So I'm not even going to do it. Let's see. And I have, there have been a few videos. There was one video in particular around election time where I got many dislikes on that video. And Sean messaged me and he's like, I don't know if you noticed it, but don't take it very seriously. It's not that big of a deal. And he was so nice. And he was worried that I was going to be insulted or upset by that. And I have to admit, it was irritating to see it because it's like, who bothers to dislike videos for that? And I was irritated, but it wasn't too much of a big deal. And but he was so sweet to do that and to try to catch me and walk me through it before it became a big deal. Let's see. Who is your favorite author in book series? There can be more than one. Again, why do you like Oxygen? Who's your favorite child? It's so hard for me. George Eliot, probably at this point in my life is probably one of the top 2 or 3. I'm continuing to read the rest of her novels this year and several nonfiction books about her. I've learned that I love the classics. I love Alexander Dumas because of The Count of Monte Cristo. I love Maggie O'Farrell. I love authors like Larry McMurtry, Barbara Kingsolver. Oh gosh, who else? There's so many. There's so many. I could say Jane Austen. She's not terribly high up on the list, but I do love her books. I'd have to prepare a list in advance. I don't really know. I'm not into book series too much. N.K. Jemisin, I read her Broken Earth trilogy, loved it. I have several of her other books that I'm interested in reading. Octavia Butler. Oh gosh, there's so many. I don't know, there's so many. Any advice for others that are on BookTube? Use this as a chance to speak up about you as a person in the community. Any advice out there? The only advice I have for booktubers who are just starting, or even for people who want to start, the most important quality of your video is your audio. Believe it or not. If somebody can't hear you, they're gonna switch off your video. And I've watched people's videos that are dark, or the lighting is off, or they're shooting it at a certain time of day. as long as the audio is clear and the volume is high enough, I'll watch your video. It's not the visual that gets me. It's being able to understand you and hearing your personality come through your conversation. Audio is crucial to that. I am cheap. The only thing I use to film my videos is my phone. I don't use an external mic. I don't use lighting. That's my biggest piece of advice for anybody new. And just like Robert told me, do what you want. Do what is important to you. Do what you love. Don't copy anybody. Don't, model your video content on anybody else's. Do the hauls if you want. Do the wrap-ups. Do whatever. Do the tags. Honestly, those are great ideas to always have content ideas for videos. But if you love doing reviews, if you love playing book games, if you love doing vlogs and filming yourself outside the house and going book shopping, that's awesome. Do what's best for you. And I think that's about it. I'm reaching because I have some people that I tagged or I want to tag. Let's see. I have 5 channels that I want to tag. One is Karen Evans. You're tagged. Aaron from Aaron Go Read, Jack from Rambling Raconteur, Scott and Nell from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, and the eternally grumpy Steve Donahue, because if I don't tag him, he'll whine. And then I'll get a private Voxer message. Hi, Steve. That's it. This is the Booktubian Tag. Let me know what you think of any of my answers below. Write me a comment. Like my video. Send me a positive emoji. Don't dislike me. Don't write me a hate comment. I don't want to get mad and come after you. That's not too threatening, is it? Have a good day, everybody. Hope to see you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.